I will not be surprised if Shakur Stevenson misses out on a Team Alifu fight or misses out on big fights as long as he continues to move how he moves. Smash the like, sub to the channel, share the video. Let me explain to y'all what I mean. So, Team Alifu is claiming that he is negotiating with Manny Pacquiao. I call cap on that. Would I be surprised if him and Manny fought? No. PBC and Top Rank are working a lot together, and a lot of times boxing will zig when you expect it to zag. But based on Team Alifu's words in the interview that was sent to me by my homeboy LaRon, Team Alifu said that he's in negotiations with Shakur Stevenson for January 24th, and he's in negotiation with Manny Pacquiao for December the 13th. A couple of things. Manny Pacquiao will not be having you in his camp more recently if he was planning on fighting you, I believe. I don't think Manny's stupid like that. Manny's a very experienced fighter with a very experienced team around him. If they were planning to fight you or were looking at you for a potential fight, I don't think Manny would have you in his camp recently, helping him get ready for a fight or allowing you to come train with him. Number two, how are you in negotiations with a fight with Manny Pacquiao for December the 13th when Manny Pacquiao just went to social media to announce that he's fighting on January the 24th? You got your dates fucked up. You got your dates fucked up, homeboy. How are you negotiating with him for a fight in December the 13th? It's already October the 10th. It's 2 months away from December the 13th. But more importantly, he already said, I'm fighting on January 24th. That's when I'm coming back. So you think he's finna change his date for Team Alifu Telefimu? I don't know, bro. I think T.O. might be planting seeds to duck out on Shakur Stevenson. And it's what I've been talking to Shakur Stevenson fans about. But as we get to October, November, people supposed to be fighting in January and February. That means fights are supposed to start getting announced. I am telling y'all, bro, Shakur Stevenson, what people don't want to talk about is, yes, he finally got the Williams Zepeda fight. But that fight was so hard to get made. Turkey had a hard time making that fight. Eddie Hearn couldn't make that fight. Golden Boy didn't want to make that fight and was unwilling to make that fight unless Shakur Stevenson met certain criteria for them to allow Williams Zepeda to fight him. And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, Shakur Stevenson doesn't give you a return on your investment. Number two, Shakur Stevenson is a tough stylistic matchup for a lot of fighters in boxing. Meaning, he's a very good fighter, but he also can make the fight very boring. So your stock takes a hit double fold, meaning you're going to probably lose if you're a lot of these guys, and you're going to lose in a boring fight. And now it's not a situation where when you lose, you can win. It's a situation where you double lose because you take the L, but you can't even go back and be like, well, at least I put on an entertaining fight, because he gonna suck all the air out the fight. And so when you're putting people in that position, if you're a fighter, you have to be Floyd Mayweather-esque, meaning Floyd Mayweather could suck the life out of a fight because he could be defensive, but he was far more entertaining than Shakur. But he could make you look bad and make you look like an amateur, make you look like you don't belong. But he also gonna raise your stock because he's such a superstar. He also gonna raise your stock because you're gonna have a lot of people watching you. So it's a win-win regardless. Shakur doesn't do that because Shakur is not a person that people are checking for. Which is why in his most recent interview, he let the cat out the bag that he hired another sports agency, PR firm, to try to help with his image, try to help build his brand. Because people are not checking for him, bro. And so when we think about Team Alifu Telefimu and we think about Shakur Stevenson's recent path, it was hard for him to get the Williams Zepeda fight because he's not drawing in viewership and he's not a superstar. And on top of that, he also wants to get paid like a superstar. So you needed Turkey to get that to the finish line. And even Turkey was like, yo, I can't pay you this. We got to drop your number because cats ain't really checking for you. Shakur got mad. And he like, yo, I do better off putting Berlanga and Shiraz on the pay-per-view or on the main event. It's the same reason why he's like, yo, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard is going to be my main event. I know Devin Haney and his daddy and his fan base been gobbling my nuts way harder than David Benavidez and his fan base. But I needed a fight that is guaranteed to be entertaining as my main event, and I don't trust Devin based on his performance against Jose Ramirez. Promoters are not trying to, people that are financing fights are not trying to have boring events. And if they know the event is going to be boring, they need to know that at least for some reason people like watching this boring fighter, and so they're going to pay for his tickets and he going to sell out, or they're going to buy his pay-per-views and he going to sell pay-per-views, or they're going to draw the viewership numbers up and he's going to get millions of people to watch that event if they're streaming it for free. Shakur doesn't bring that to the table. He's a double-edged sword of poison because, well, really more than double, like triple or quadruple. He's a very, very defensive-minded fighter, so he don't care about putting on a show for the fans. He wants to be paid a very large payday. He doesn't want to commit to any promoter long-term right now. He doesn't bring in revenue when he fights. All of these things are poison pills. All of these things make promoters shy away from you. I'm not going to get an entertaining event. It's going to be hard for me to make money. I got to pay this dude a bunch of money. And I'm not even going to have him long-term to try to even get a return on my investment. He just wants me to make a one-off fight with him. It's going to be hard to do, bro. And that's why I think this Timalifu Telefimu fight is not a foregone conclusion, bro. I'm not of the mindset that it's a foregone conclusion that this fight is guaranteed to happen. Because I think Top Rank would much rather match Timalifu with fights that they feel like they can get a return on their investment on. And or if they're not going to get a return on their investment, they would like Timalifu to lose to someone where they could get a return on their investment. If we are doing business with this entity over here, we're going to want our most prized assets to come over here too. So if Top Rank is committed to trying to do business with Premier Boxing Champions, it makes sense for them to say all of our greatest assets, from Abdullah Mason if he becomes champion, Keyshawn Davis, Timalifu Lopez, we want them to fight in-house, or we're going to have them fight with the people we've decided to do business with moving forward on a more exclusive basis. Think of it like this. If you're Top Rank and you're Bob Arum, what is better for your business? For Timalifu to go get thoroughly outboxed and outclassed by Shakur, or for Timalifu to lose to either Keyshawn Davis, Emiliano Vargas, or Abdullah Mason? If Timalifu is going to sell his capital to someone by losing to them, by fighting a highly contested 50-50 fight, or a fight where he's the underdog and you think he could lose according to your matchmakers, what does it make more sense for your business to do? To have him lose to the rogue free agent in a one-off, or have him lose to one of the guys that's up and coming that you have under contract? What makes more sense? To have him lose to the rogue free agent in a cross-platform deal, or lose perhaps to the superstar in a cross-platform deal? The point I'm making is Shakur Stevenson versus Timalifu Lopez only makes sense for one side from a business perspective. The only side that fight makes sense from is from Shakur's side and Turkey's side. And depending upon where Turkey tries to put it, I can make the argument that it don't even make sense from his business side. Because if you put Timalifu and Shakur on pay-per-view, or if you put them on some big venue off in the East Coast, are you sure you can get the money back? Are you sure that with what you have to pay Timalifu and pay Shakur Stevenson, can your live gate cover that? Will your pay-per-views cover that? Because one of them in Shakur has begun to have to fight on undercards, and the other one in Team Alifu is fighting on undercards. And when he was fighting on main events, he couldn't pack out 5,000 seat arenas. He was fighting in the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, not the big room in Madison Square Garden. So if we really want to be real, like factually, the only person this fight makes sense for is Shakur Stevenson. It doesn't make sense for Top Rank. From a business perspective, it don't make sense for Turkey. And for Team Alifu, it don't make sense for him. You taking a tough fight against a 135-pounder over fighting another champion at 140. Fighting a more winnable 147 title shot against one of those champions up there. Fighting Manny Pacquiao if you can get the Pacquiao fight. Fighting Gervonta Davis if you can get the Gervonta fight. Like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. And I think it's mainly because Shakur is in that tricky position of, I want to be a free agent. I want to go fight by fight and do this and do that. But that takes two things. And I say it all the time. You either have to be willing to do the Devin Haney, take less so that promoters are more comfortable giving you those fights. And you may have to go to somebody's hometown, home country, home whatever to get the deal done. Or you have to be a superstar like a Canelo who can say, look, I'm only signing a 2-fight deal, but the promoter's like, cool, no problem, bro. I know I'm going to make some money off you, dog. I know I'm guaranteed 500,000 pay-per-views minimum if I put you on pay-per-view. I know I'm guaranteed $15, $20 million live gate if I put you in the venue. If we do viewership, I know I'm guaranteed millions and millions of streams. Cool, Canelo, we'll do a 1-fight deal with you. We'll do a 2-fight deal with you. But when you looking at Shakur, you like, man, shit, I don't even know if we can put you on the main event, dog. Shit, I don't know if we can sell any pay-per-views with you. You ain't never been on pay-per-view. I don't even know if you can pack out the venue unless I make the tickets real, real cheap. But shit, come on, Shakur, let me give you a 1-fight, 2-fight deal. It don't work that way, bro. And for those reasons, I'm not so sure this Team Alifu fight gonna happen, bro. And then I haven't even spoke on in this video, because I'm focusing on the business shit. I haven't even spoke on the fact that Team Alifu may just be blowing smoke and may not even really want smoke. Because we seen him duck out on fights plenty of times, bro. Plenty of times we seen him pull away from the table and duck people. This is the same dude that made George Kambosos his mandatory and requested that shit just so he ain't had to fight Devin Haney. Same guy. Same guy, bro. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash the like, sub up. I appreciate y'all being in the building. See y'all soon. Peace.